Now, I have made some big mistakes with gifts for my kids in the past. Let me help you not make those mistakes and get your kids off on the right foot. So, in my opinion, gifts for the sake of gifts is just not good. I don't like the obligation people feel, but I do think gift giving is a great way to show love. I don't think it should be extreme, and I do think you should give gifts, but I think you should be smart about how you give gifts. Now, I'm going to tell you what I think the problem is, the solution, and a few gift ideas. Now, if this is your first time here, my name is Robyn. I help overwhelmed people simplify their lives by decluttering all of the excess, being productive, organized, and creating an environment they can thrive in. So grab your tea and let's go. So here's the deal. We have given our kids way too many gifts over the years. I know, my husband and I, we are guilty of this. We gave them too many things, it caused clutter, and the problem is the kids actually start to expect getting a lot of things, and I don't want that for my kids. If your kids are young, this is a great opportunity for you right now to start your kids on the right foot. And if they're older, don't worry, because you can definitely make that change now. Now, I don't want to raise kids that are always looking to get things. I don't want my kids to be materialistic. I want my kids to understand that happiness comes from within and not from getting things. I also know that buying many things can cause clutter, which makes people unhappy. In the neurodiverse universe that is my house, we really do not need clutter. It does not help the ADHD, the anxiety, and any of that. It's quite interesting though, because I think my own childhood comes into play, and my husband's too, and I'm going to ask you to reflect on your own as well. When I was a kid, we got too many gifts, and there was clutter. We would go to my grandparents' house. The tree had presents coming 6 to 8 feet out from it. I used to love organizing the presents. I would organize them large to small, and it was so fun to imagine what was in them. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I think that it was just too much. And I don't know, I honestly think that coming from somewhat scarcity can cause that. And that's where my husband comes in, because he grew up with a single mom who was very loving, but she only gave 1 or 2 presents because that's all she could afford. And so he ended up having that scarcity mindset. So when it came time to give our kids gifts, he always felt like we weren't giving them enough. And he would, when our son was 2, he was like, I feel like we didn't get him enough. Like, he was like 2, he was a baby, he didn't care. So every year we would end up buying many toys and things that really just added to a mound of clutter. And it's not, like, I'm not blaming him, but I didn't want that. And especially because every year then there were with 3 kids, and they would get minimum 5 to 10 presents. I'm just guessing, but that's like 30 things. And I remember being like, I have got to declutter all of this. It was insane. So, minimalism took care of that. But we would without fail get them some kind of a Lego set. And that left us with 4 huge totes of Lego that no one uses. There were many other toys. I'm now in the process still of selling the Lego off. Now, I also don't like the lesson that my kids learned from it. I don't want them feeling like, Christmas is just about presents, right? And now a few years ago, when we started moving towards minimalism, we started giving the kids and each other less things. We started giving more experience gifts. One year, we took our kids up to the mountain to go skiing they got lessons and rentals. And as the kids got older, one year they would maybe get an electronic, and they won't be this year, and that's just sort of like a random thing, but then they'd get clothing or something like that. And I remember watching Little Women and the gift scene where one, I believe it's Joe, gets pencils, and they're all happy with an orange. This is how I feel when I get a gift that I can use. Now I'm like, my love language isn't gifts, but I love when someone notices something, and that it makes me feel very loved. But back in the day, people got things that were useful. And I think that is so much more meaningful personally. And I want this for my kids as well. So we adopted the something they want, need, wear, and read thing. Now our kids, they will always get pajamas every Christmas Eve, and they will always get a sweater or some other clothes that they need. Their stockings often have socks, underwear, chocolate, things like that. I mean, it's fun. And, Christmas Day is about enjoying and time with family, but I want there to be a lot of utility. And I'm saying I love Christmas, I'm not being a Scrooge. I love the decorating. I love the food, all of it. I just don't want gifts to be the center of it anymore. And so when we go through this and we're thinking when we're giving them something that they want, I suggest that you learn what they want, figure it out, ask them something like that, and just give a few gifts. And then be careful with what you're giving them. Maybe just one gift of what they want. Don't get them things with too many pieces. You don't want to get home and have 2,791 pieces to deal with unless it's something your kids really want. But you will be dealing with those pieces eventually. Same with the Lego. We stopped a few years ago, but on Christmas Day, our kids loved putting together their Lego sets, and I think that's so nice. We still have some Lego in our house. We're just very intentional with it. Now, it does depend on the child, but maybe a young boy or girl might like a doll or a truck. Just get them like one thing, maybe two things. This is just my advice. When your kids are young, it's great to start them out not expecting a lot. It's easier than correcting it later. Although I have to say, my kids did adjust very well to that. One of my least favorite that I used to think was really cool when I was a kid, but I did not like it when my kids got it, that was Playmobil. My gosh, does that come with a lot of pieces. So the need category is a wonderful category. I absolutely love it. And you're getting something that they need, right? So a couple of years ago, I got my husband a backpack, and I thought that was great. Whatever it is, you are teaching them that you are giving the gift of utility, and I really love that idea. The next category, something that they wear. I love that one too, because again, it's something of utility. You might be like, hey, they need a sweater, they need pants, something like that. Hopefully it's like really nice or cozy or something like that. I love it. And of course, something to read, a book, even a magazine if they're not into books, just something that they can curl up with on Christmas Day and read it. I myself like to get a seed catalog and a cookbook, but that's okay. Now, if you're stuck for other gift ideas, I made a video, 57 gift ideas, low clutter. They're good for everybody. This is my Christmas playlist. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.